explosive do you expect this offense to be this year, Jhamon?
Um, Yesterday was day two. I'm just taking it day by day. I honestly don't even, there's big things I'm expecting, like I said. But one thing I learned from the past year is, what I'm saying, we all have a game day. Uh, what I'm saying, we're just working and crafting right now, but not putting too many expectations over our heads right now. Just taking it day by day.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to Travis Brown and then Kirk Bowles.
Hey, Jhamon, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Doing well. Hey, curious of what your take and what your feelings are on what Kellen has been able to do over the offseason in having a voice for not only different issues and how he's grown on a leader then on the field as well.
Yeah, this offseason for Kellen has been a big step in his growth. Kellen's 20, turned 21. He's just growing up, and you're seeing him really become a man. He can't have to come in here freshman year and play his first year. So what people saw this offseason and what I saw this offseason was him just finding out more and more about who he was and what he wanted to stand for. And it's having a direct translation onto the field and just leading his guys and leading his team. And really just showing a lot of guys how to stand up for what they believe in and just really, never be scared of what you believe in. And like I said, it's a huge translation to on the field. And with him being a vocal leader and leading our team as being a quarterback.
And are you surprised at all at some of the reactions that he's gotten on social media and with people as he's been able to find his voice?
And with everything, there's a good and bad side to it. So, there's good and bad with everything. There's a lot of good people out there in the world. So I won't let the bad pollute the mentality I have. But I know there's a lot of good people out there and I'm proud of what he did.
Thanks.
Next question is from Kirk Bowles at the Austin American Statesman, and then Robert Sesson.
Mon, I know you and Kellen are close and talk a lot. What do you feel like Kellen thinks he's lacked the last 3 years as a starter that maybe he now has this season?
Interesting. You mean on the field or like just?
Yeah, on the field.
On the field?
Yes.
I think Kellen, from what I understand, I think he's working on and he's worked on heavily this offseason. Looking at his past 3 years, he doesn't really feel like he's been all the way decisive as he should have been. And as you see his highs in the certain games or when he's his most decisive and when he's his most comfortable making decisions. So I think that would probably be the one thing that he would say himself, and that he's just trying to work on just everyday decisions in life, just being pretty sure in what you want to do. And as a quarterback, that makes you play faster, and the offense, it helps us out playing faster and better. So I think that he would also think that.
Did y'all talk about this being y'all's last go-around as seniors?
Yeah, we did, and I think that's one thing. If you're a leader on this team and you want guys to buy into what you want to do and what this team is trying to do, I think you yourself have to be very, sure on what you want to do and believe in it. So this has been a big focus this offseason and just finding ways for guys to buy into the culture. And Kellen has definitely worked on being very, very much decisive in his decision-making on and off the field.
And last thing, it's a huge playbook, is it not? Pretty complicated. Is there
a lot of details.
Is it too complicated at times?
No, it's not. I wouldn't call it complicated. Complicated only depends on how many times you look at it a day. So it's very detailed oriented. But I understand. I think anyone who takes a little bit of time to study it will understand it.
Thank you.
All right, next question is from Robert Cessna at the Bryan College Station Eagle, and then Brent Zorba.
Last year you guys only had a handful of seniors. This year you got more than 20. So what's been the difference, in the summer and the first few practice? What's the difference with all that experience with those seniors?
I have a little bit biased mentality because I've kind of been like trying to be a leader since I've been here. But one thing I can say is numbers is huge. We have a lot more seniors, like you said, so I don't know if it depends on, but I think the more seniors we have, it seems like the more common ground we have on mentality and what kind of team we want to have. So it's been fun to have a bunch of guys on the same mindset, mentality as you. So personally, just in the past month and a half, I've been seeing us come together a lot more than we normally would come, and buying into all one. And I say this, I mean, we have like I'm not sure, but like probably about 15 seniors, same guys who came in. So it's interesting to see us grow up and see where we came from for being freshmen and early enrollees, and all. Now we're guys leading this team. So now you're seeing a bunch of guys who just think like-minded. So it's very, very beneficial for this team.
Thank you.
Next question from Brayton Warneman with the Houston Chronicle, and then Jay Will.
Jhamon, wanted to ask you your early impressions of Demond Demas, and you've been there as well 3 years ago, coming in here with a lot of hype. You talked to him about ignoring the personal hype, the what he gets coming in here as a five-star guy.
Yeah. Immediate impression is he's a very smart guy. First thing I said, he's like a sponge. He always wants to learn. And one thing for him, I think, in this time of growing up nowadays, you have so much attention on what you do. But I tell him all the time, you're a young guy. You don't need to do anything different than, do what you want to do. And, you've seen where yourself has taken you all these years. So don't come in here and try to change up who you are. Be yourself. You're a smart kid. You're going to understand all this stuff. And just have fun with this process. I'm a senior now. I told him, you only have one college experience. Don't complain too much because you might be in the best time of your life. So I really don't think that I try to tell him just not to worry too much. And all the young guys also, just take it one step at a time. We're great people. And a lot of times I see guys overthink things and kind of overcomplicate college, and it kind of, can take a toll on you. But I think those guys will be fine. He's a great guy.
What's the most impressive jump he's done for you, or y'all done for y'all?
I mean, he does backflips all the time, front flip. I can't do a backflip, so I mean that's pretty impressive to me. But he's a freak of nature. He's an amazing kid to be around, and these guys practicing so far with these guys have been so much fun. Probably one of the most fun I've been since I've been here. I don't know if I'm a senior. It's my last year. It's a little bit emotional, but I've had a bunch of fun with these guys. I'm looking forward to it this season.
Thank you.
Well, we got probably 9 more questions on the queue, so don't ask me any more no more questions. But next is going to be John Wilson from KDX.
Hi, Jhamon.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Curious your thoughts on the 10-game SEC schedule, completely different than anything you guys have had to go through during your time here.
Personally, I would just say that, I would rather get straight to it. It's coming every year. We look for his conference game. So me playing us playing a 10-game conference schedule is, I think, everything you could ask for. Every game being tight, closely played, hard-nosed football, man-to-man coverage for me and the receivers. I'm ready to get to it. So I don't really. That's all I look for. That's all I saw when I saw that. I was just like, there's more opportunity on the board for us. So, yes,
All right, we'll move on to Matt Roberts from Fox 44 in Waco.
Jhamon, you mentioned, just the singular mindsets, keeping things day to day. For you guys, how important is that, especially now when different conferences are announcing different things on different days and just staying focused on what's going on in College Station?
Yeah, we just kind of took it out of football and just make it a life thing. So in life, you can't control a lot of things, decisions, rules being made. So, and you never stress to try to figure those out. So we're going to do the same thing here and just take it day by day and control what we can't control. What we can control is our attitude each day, our mentality coming in the building, how much we want to get better, what we do during workouts. So those kind of things are what I fill my head and try to fill our team's head with. And just focus on that because the other stuff will drive you crazy. It's a different time right now. I don't think anyone knows what's going on. So just trying to take it day by day, and with that, I've been seeing success. So.
Next question is from Justin Woodard from KAGS, and then Chip Howard.
Jhamon, talk to us about your other receivers. Obviously, Courtney and Kendrick gone. You mentioned how Demas is shined early in camp. Give us some other receivers that are going to help you out this year in production, whether it's Hez or Chase Lane or Chapman?
We have.
What are you looking out there?
So, Hezekiah Jones, Caleb Chapman, Damon Demas, Musa Muhammad, Chase Lane, Cam Brown, Kenyon Jackson, Jalen Preston, Jacob Groff, Andrew Boykin. I think our whole receiving core. One thing I want people to understand about like football, as you see like nowadays, like Kendrick and Q, for example, like no one knew who they were before they played. So it's just, for me, I have a biased mentality. I think these guys are all great, and I mean that wholeheartedly because you can see the thing they do out there in practice. It's just a matter of it being displayed on a Saturday. So, who comes on the field, I don't know. That's for the coaches, and that's up to the guys to, so we're all working for spots right now, but we're all capable, and we all know we're capable. So it's just a matter of just taking it day by day and just learning this playbook and trying to learn the details within the offense.
Next question from Chip Howard, and then we'll go to Mike Lucas.
Jhamon, how have you seen the speed and athleticism change across the whole team since you first walked on here? And is there a notable difference this year with this group?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I missed it.
Yeah, the speed and athleticism, how different is it than when you first got here?
It's pretty broad though, but only because I'm saying that because, for me, I'm a guy who's never been the fastest, but I've been around a lot of fast guys. There's a lot of young talent for sure. Young, fast, and explosive talent, but I wouldn't say it's much different than when I first came. I'm just being reminded of it that, the youth and how good it feels to be young, and they're kind of bringing that light back into this organization. So, yeah.
So could you beat them all in a 40?
Could I beat them all? No.
Yeah, all the group? No.
Not even.
Thanks.
All right, we'll move on to Mike Lucas and then Chuck Carlson.
Jhamon, you've been productive your first 3 years at A&M, but I'm curious, is there anything this offseason you worked on in particular to try and take your game to that next elite level?
My mind a lot. Worked on my mind a lot.
Okay.
Can we go in detail?
That works for me.
Okay. All right, we'll go to Chuck Carlton, and then we'll finish up with Richard Zane. Chuck, you're on mute.
That would help.
There you go.
Technology frightens me. Jhamon, last year you had the three number one teams on your schedule, plus the game at Georgia. I was just curious what lessons you took away from those games going into this year, and what does this team have to do to take the next step against those elite teams on your schedule?
That's good. Yeah, this season, this off season has been longer than than we expected, obviously. And with that, I've been watching a bunch of the games since I've been here. Actually, I'm trying to watch all the big games. We kind of either won or lost or whatever, and kind of try to find what was the reason why. And to be honest, what I noticed was just that we're not really. When you're in the moment, you're never aware of how important each decision you make is. With that being said, all you can control is so in the game you act off of straight muscle memory, and that starts within practice and your workout. So one thing I've been trying to emphasize is basically paying attention to each rep within drill, making it extremely game-like, simulating it within your mind to make yourself feel, pressured or whatever. And kind of, because when it comes to game day, you played this game 18, 20 years of your life. It's just a matter of who's going to be mentally stable to make that play. You know what I'm saying? Or not let the crowd or whoever's involved in the game get into their head. So what I saw with those games, those big-time games, that you kind of get engulfed within the moment and make plays and don't make plays that you normally should make or that you made thousands of times. So really what it comes down to is just preparing mentally for the game and taking it and preparing for the game the same as practice and every workout you go into.
All right, last questions from Richard Zane at TexAg.com.
Hi, Jhamon. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. A lot has been made about your relationship with Kellen off the field. So my question is, how does that translate to on the field? And then a two-parter for you. Sorry, is a lot has been made about this young receiving core. So what kind of a mentor role are you taking in helping to groom these young guys?
I think with the coronavirus, I think that a lot of I have seen you being old, you kind of look back at like what do you not take serious, what do you take for granted on the school and football side, and what coronavirus showed me is like when the world stops, all you have is what you have made your mark on. So I just kind of I've been talking to those young guys a bunch and just trying to let them understand that there's no rush within anything. You don't have to feel like you're somebody that the world wants you to be. Nowadays you can't make mistakes because everything's recorded. But at the end of the day, we're just being kids. So I want them to be kids and enjoy the moment they're in. Don't rush it. I know a bunch of stuff is coming out with the image, name, and likeness. It's going to create a bunch of individual mentality and ways. But I want you guys to stay together and stay kind of branch together and just go along this process together. And because at the end of the day, our senior group is who we came in here with. The same early enrollees, me and Kellen, Keldrick Carper, Rashad was going out, Hezekiah Jones. These are all kids we've been friends with our whole life. So I just really want them to get close together, and the closest teams win. So then when you do that, all the field stuff will be pretty much easy. So pretty much that.
That's a